Hello. So you got to see this walk the other day as during the day. Now you're going to see it at night as I'm walking to my archery practice. So let me get my phone put up so I can get my hands put away. It's nice thing about the camera is I can control it with my phone, so it's kind of nice. Okay, so anyways, it is about 6 o'clock right now. The walk to archery takes about an hour, so you know, we'll have a lot of fun time to talk. And I'm probably going to do speed up things like I did with the last one. But okay, so what did we do today? Oh yes, I remember. So it's Friday. It is Christmas, day after Christmas. I think what they call it, Boxing Day or something like that. And it is the day. So sorry. Had to zip my coat up, so my voice might get a little more muffled. It is words what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, so what did I do today? So got up, called the family because you know we're 12 hours ahead, so called them, got to talk to them. Oh, did I forgot my glasses. Archery will be interesting if I don't have my glasses. I might have to go back and get my glasses. We'll see how well I can do without my glasses today. Probably not very well, but we'll see. I don't want to go back and get them. But, so, anyways, work today. So yeah, this morning, did a bit of work editing the video, the Christmas video. I've almost got it done and ready to go. So that'll be posted tomorrow. So it'll be a day late, but not too bad. And then, work today, I got in and did a decent bit of work on my curriculum materials. I got, let's see, so I'm redoing the entire curriculum. I think I mentioned this, but in case I hadn't. So my basic goal is to redo the entire curriculum for pre-calculus, AP Calculus AB, AP Calculus BC, and AP Stats. And so I've got my organization set up, built for it, and I've got the plan for each of the classes done. So I've got an outline kind of saying what we're going to do for the entire school year that's corrected with the AP materials, but for the Mongolian school calendar. And then one step even further for the hobby school particular like class schedule. So I'm getting it all, I've got it all set up and organized so that it all fits within that time frame as best as I can get it. Obviously, you know, because of the kind of truncated year in comparison to the US, since we start September 1st, and then usually the AP tests are in May. So, you know, we lose a good bit of time compared to what you'd have in the US for these things. So I've got all that set up, and then I have the first week of the third term, so the beginning of the second semester. I've got the first week for pre-calculus completely done and ready to go, and then I've got the first 3 weeks of BC Calculus ready to go. So I'm going to be working on stats. And what else? I'm going to be working on stats and calculus in AB calculus probably in the next week, even though I'm on break. Like, you know me, I work, and so I'm going to be doing that. And then yeah, so that's about it. That's my plan for now. Today for archery, we all have to go in, and they said something about the people doing indoor and outdoor horse practice. So I think what we're doing is probably, like, I don't know, maybe signing waivers or paperwork to allow us to do that stuff, which will be fun because, you know, I'm not really a horse person, so this will be a fun and new adventure. And then, yeah, and that's what I did today, work-wise. I also played a couple of games of Settlers of Catan with my US colleagues because our Mongolian teachers were having some meetings because there was apparently a safety issue that came up where a student got into some materials they shouldn't have gotten into. And nothing, I don't think, happened from it, other than somebody got kind of alerted, hey, the student was in this place they shouldn't have been. And so they were like tightening up some security stuff or something. I don't know. We got an email about it, but it's not a class that any of the foreign teachers teach, nor is it an area any of the foreign teachers go into, because it's just a different part of the building, and none of our classes are in that area. So it wasn't something that pertained to us in just about any way. And since they were going to be obviously having the meeting in Mongolian, they told the foreign teachers, this is not a meeting that you need to attend. And most of us had already, gotten our work ready for most of it. So we played some games of Settlers of Catan to kind of relax on our last day of no students. It's kind of funny because we're teachers, and so even when we're not doing teaching, or not technically when we're not at our computers and working, we still end up talking about school stuff and working on stuff. So if you've ever had a teacher in your life, you know that we're never not working, even when we're supposedly relaxing, just because we're always kind of trying to figure out better ways of getting through to our students. It's just kind of the life. But so this is Ich Mongol. So you saw us walk down this street last time. We didn't go down this part of it though. Last time we started up near the E-Mart. So you're gonna see kind of where that E-Mart is in better relation to where we are. So it's all the way up here. There's somebody behind me. I'm trying to make sure I'm out of their way. I can hear them. I don't know which direction they're coming from. And I don't really want to just spin around and look, because, I don't want to make people sick on the camera. So, whatever. I'll deal with it as I need to. Uh-oh. Police officer's getting mad. There's a car that wants to go, and there's a car that stopped in the intersection. This is pretty common, honestly. I could probably go if I really wanted to push it, but it's not worth it. So you just kind of gotta wait. Usually when there's a police officer, you'll get your turn, because they're pretty good about making sure people... There we go. He's stopping them. Okay, yep. Now I can go. See? They're really good about managing stuff. Obviously, they know what they're doing. That is unfortunately a little common and unnecessary. When people are moving, but they don't think they're moving fast enough, and they'll flash their lights or whatever. So sorry about that if you got flashbang. Okay. So if I get quiet, it's probably because I'm hunkering my face down into my coat to keep warm. It's quite chilly. I don't know what the temperature is. I could probably turn on the setting that lets it read onto the screen, but I'm not really in the mood for it, because it would probably just constantly read cold. It's negative 20 something. I don't think it's to the negative 30s yet, so just imagine we're probably somewhere between negative 22 and negative 27 at any point when I'm walking at night. The one nice thing about forgetting my glasses is they're not fogging up. So I don't have to worry about having my vision fogged over. So that's kind of nice. Well, okay, I guess I'll go this way. Okay, so we're coming up to the E-Mart. Last time you saw when we walked past this, we went through the parking lot, but it's because we were coming from the Taste Shop, which was where we had our brunch. Taste Shop is the name of the store, by the way. It's I don't know what you'd really call it. It's kind of like a cafe, but like also a place you can buy like dairy products, but then also they have like, you know, food and stuff. So it's really good. There's a lot of that kind of like multiple kind of things that stores do here. Like for example, the one of the stationery shops near the store, it's a stationery shop primarily, but it also has like, you know, home goods stuff like toilet paper and other kind of things like that, but like not in where the stationery no, I can go, but not in where the stationery stuff is. It's like in the front part of the store. It's interesting. People are honking, but the officer didn't say you can go yet. Sometimes when they honk like that, it's because they're also trying to get the officer to let them go. It's kind of like when a kid nags their parent. But you'll notice that they don't, you know, they respect the authority of the baton, which is nice, you know. Food delivery. You can tell by the yellow box on the back of the scooter. I need to find out what that one's called. Ubi Eats is the people with the black boxes, black and green boxes. And then there's another one. It starts with a T, and I can never remember the name of it to like go look it up and see if they have different options. Because when it's this cold and you've gotten home, you just sometimes, you know, don't want to go out, and you also don't want to cook because of how late it is or something, because, you know, you've been out all day. So sometimes you just gotta like, man, there's really good restaurants with really good food. I think I'll just order. I know it's lazy, but man, some days you just gotta be like, ugh. That's actually how we got our Christmas dinner. We had oddly enough, we had Chinese food. Well, I mean, I say Chinese food. Was it Chinese food? Was it okay? So it was actually from an Asian fusion. Well, not even fusion. It was like a mixed Asian restaurant. So it was like, I don't know. It was just an Asian restaurant because they had Mongolian food, Korean food, Chinese food, and so we had a mix of Mongolian, Korean, and Chinese. It was Mongolian horseshor. It was Korean steamed buns that you could fill yourself with banchan, and then it was Chinese. I don't really know what you would call it, but like wraps that you again make yourself. So. And we just kind of had a feast of that. It was very good. And we had leftovers for today, so, you know, that was good to come home and eat some leftovers and have dinner. You know, it felt very, aside from the fact that it was an eclectic mix of Asian food, it felt very much like, you know, a post-Christmas dinner leftovers kind of thing for the next day. So it's kind of cool. Kind of a bit nostalgic from home. One of my coworkers went and saw her husband, who's studying, I believe he's studying architecture. It might be civil engineering. It's one of those two in Korea right now. And so he's been away, and she's been, you know, mom of 3, kind of on her own, working and taking care of the kiddos while he's in basically at grad school. And So she got her visa approved and got to go visit, and she just got back today. So she was telling everybody about it, and it was really awesome. It was really good to have her back because she's one of my good friends here. And she missed the Christmas party thing I told you about. So luckily I had happened, like by pure happenstance, had filmed it because I got my camera in literally that day. And I was like, oh, we're going to do a little party thing? Cool, I'll just, I'll test the camera out and I'll see how it does when I just like set it up and have it point towards like, the main area. So they were like setting everything up, and I set up the camera because I didn't know what else to do because they hadn't told me anything about it, obviously, because it was a surprise for me. But so when she got back, they told her about it. She was like, oh, I missed it. And I was like, well, I did record it. So here, and I played her the recording, and I told her how special it was and how it made me cry and stuff. So she got to be a part of all that, and that was really awesome. And then before I left today, she was helping me with my Mongolian. I showed her my flashcards with nouns and stuff, and she was helping me with pronunciation and stuff. So, because she speaks a decent bit of English, so she's able to explain some of the nuances. Because like part of the problem is like when I'm working with some of the Mongolian speakers who don't speak English, trying to get the nuances is interesting. Like for example, Usyu, I think it's Usyu. I could be saying that wrong. I don't have the card with me right now, but Usya, or maybe it's Yao, Usyao. Anyway, something like that. It means, it's the word for drinks, like beverages, drinks. And so she's like, oh yeah, it's drinks. It's like getting. And I was like, oh, is it like adult drinks, or is it like just like regular drinks that you get? She's like, no, like drinks, like soda, tea, water. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. And she was like, wait, or is it beverages? And I was like, oh well. And then I explained how, at least in the U.S., we'll use the word drinks and beverages somewhat interchangeably. Beverages is a little more like formal, a little more proper. And she's like, oh, so like you'll see that written on a menu versus said. And I was like, yeah, although like sometimes people will write drinks on a menu, and sometimes people will say beverage, but usually they'll just say drinks. It's more casual. And then she pointed out some of the words that had like, because one of the words, and this is gonna sound really weird, but a word that's been giving me a lot of trouble is the word for door. And it's because, let me see if I can remember how to say it. It's oh man, I'm trying to remember. I can picture it in my head, but I can't remember if I'm actually thinking the right word or not. But specifically though, this situation, and this is a very common one. In writing, the formal actual word, it ends in a G. But in spoken Mongolian, they don't say it that way. It ends with like I want to say a K sound, if I'm remembering right. So instead of being oh man, I'm gonna think of the wrong one. I'm just thinking of other words that I know, and I know those aren't the right words. I don't know. I'll have to look at the card when I get home. But I know that this is one of those words where it on paper ends in a G. And the person that was helping me with it before couldn't really explain to me like why it didn't pronounce in any way the way that it was written. And then she was like, oh, well, no, this is the way we write it, but that's when we're speaking, we don't say this. We say it this way. And I was like, oh, okay, that helps my brain a lot, because like I was getting so troubled by the fact that I have no idea how a G is supposed to say. She's like, no, this is what we're just, and that's the thing, is that like there's a lot of situations like that where you'll just like drop the last letter, or you'll change the final sound in a word, but not like as a grammatical construct, just as a difference between written and spoken. It's kind of like how in English, in American English, the word little has a T, but when we say it with D's instead. We say little. Like we don't say little, we say little. Or the word mirror, we don't typically in the US say mirror, we say mirror, right? We say it with like an E instead of an O. So it's things like that where it's like, well, yeah, that's how it's spelled, but that's not how it's said. And not because it's actually a different sound for those letters. It's just because the way we speak doesn't match the way we write. You know, so it's a similar thing to that. And that was kind of cool. So I got to work on some of that. And I know that I'm just kind of like blathering on about stuff, but it's because you guys have already seen this area. You're just getting to see it at night. Like there's Ichnaid. That's the mall that we went into and showed you guys. This time you'll get to see the bridge instead of us just cutting past it, because I'm not having to stop and go in somewhere and go to the restroom, or having to cut out walking past a kid's gym and accidentally filming, you know. It was martial arts and stuff, but still I don't like to film those kinds of things and put them up because, you know, I don't know. I feel like you should not put kids on video if you can help it. I mean, it's one thing when they're in like public spaces and stuff, but like when somewhere like that, so you definitely shouldn't do it, kind of thing. So I try not to. Okay, so this is the bridge that we were talking about, and as you can see, you got to go up. I call it 3 sets of stairs, but that's because, you know, it's like a lot of stairs. It's more than what you'd go for just going up like a building story, I think, but not by a whole lot more. So I guess it's like 1.5 or something. I don't know, but and in case you're on a bike, they've got a ramp on the side for either a bike or like the motorized scooters. You don't see them here now, but during the spring and the summer, you're gonna see motorized scooters all over the place. I'm gonna get set up with an account so that I can teach Zai how to ride them. They're interested in getting a motorcycle at some point. Gotta be careful on this bridge. This is where the pickpocket lurks. And I say that because, like we mentioned on the other video, I got pickpocketed here. One of my students got pickpocketed here, so I'm always a little careful and paranoid whenever I hear somebody behind me now. Even though I don't keep anything in my backpack and they'd be a moron to try to pickpocket me again. You know. The winter is an easy time for them because everybody's got their faces covered up, so it's not weird to have somebody walk up with their face covered. Now, normally when I'm walking on my own, I walk pretty fast, which is, funny enough, a bit of a deterrent for pickpockets, because it's really hard for them to undo a zipper stealthily and reach into a bag stealthily if you are walking too fast for them to be able to do it. Oh, so it's usually the part where I have a slowdown that I get a little worried about it. Intersections, places like that. Okay. So, we're now to the other side. As you can see, this is where we need the bridge. See all the traffic? Yeah, imagine trying to cross that on the ground level. That would be not fun. Okay. And then down the other side. So same deal. There's a ramp over there in case you have a bike or a scooter. There we go. Okay. And this is, I don't know if this is the halfway mark. I've not actually like timed it or anything, but in my brain this feels a bit like the halfway mark when I get to about here. I could always check the video and see, because like I said, it's about an hour walk. And I could take a cab, but as you can see by the traffic, a cab would not really be that much faster. It'd be a little bit warmer, but I mean, you know, whatever. I'm bundled up. Multiple layers and all that business, plus the walk keeps you warm. It's only when you're standing around that you start to get really cold. Plus, I just had big Christmas dinner, so you know, gotta burn it off, right? Construction going on here. There's always construction going on. Something being built, something being repaired. It's kind of funny, they talk about Ulaanbaatar being a city built for 1 million people that houses 3 million, and it sometimes causes infrastructure issues. Things like brownouts, you know. But they're pretty good about trying to maintain everything. At least as far as I've seen and as far as I've talked to. People get frustrated by stuff, but you know, I look at it this way. I'd rather they turn off the hot water specifically, but turn off the hot water for a couple of weeks and make sure the pipes are in good repair than have a Flint, Michigan issue, you know? So okay. So now we are coming up on, again, you've seen this part during the day. This is Shangri-La, and this is the off on my left. You can kind of see the lights. That's the National Amusement Park. Oh, actually, you know what? I think you didn't see this because I think this is still part where we weren't filming yet. Because I think we started filming again for the walk to Sukbatar Square after we left the Edopolis over here. No idea why it's called that, but or Ethiopia. I'm sorry, Ethiopia. And then the Shangri-La. That's a big luxury mall. I need to figure out where the basement part of that is, because I've heard that there's like in the basement of the Shangri-La, there's like a CU down there, but there's also like other stores and things that one of my coworkers was telling me about. I need to go check out at some point. But all of the upper levels of it are like high-end, overpriced luxury goods. And the same kind of gaudy junk you see in the U.S. You know, Howard Teg or whatever they're called, Teg Heuer, all that kind of business. Things where people are like, the name is more important than the actual product itself. That's pretty much most of the stores in Shangri-La. I'll go in sometime and show it to you. So this is, and I'll stop for a second and turn so you can look at it. This is that whole area is the National Amusement Park. And the part you saw that was lit up, the Ferris wheel, they do this really cool thing with the lights on it where they've got programmable lighting on it, LEDs, and they can, you know, it's like a big kind of rideable billboard. But they don't just put advertisements on it, they also put like cool animations and things on it. At times, like during Halloween, they put these really cool Halloween animations. Can I go? Can I go? Okay. Bye, Shla. Okay. So that was really fun to watch because it just, I think there was like one advertisement in the whole thing, but there was like a whole bunch of animations going through, just like Halloween stuff, and that was really fun to kind of watch as we were walking. I don't know if they've done anything cool like that now. I haven't really looked at it as much. Whew. to see if they've done anything for the new year. But, okay, now we're making it past. This will be the part that looks familiar to you guys. There we go. You'll get to kind of connect the walk from Ikhnayed to past the Shangri-La, past the contentious camel statues. That part was fun. I'm not gonna do that. That guy was mad. Spun out. Okay, still waiting. Do 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 do. There's a lot of stuff like this. Waiting at the intersections. Sometimes the traffic slows down enough that you can go even when it's red, but there we go. Okay. As you can see, some people are less affected by the cold than others. Not sure I'd be that brave to go out in just stockings. That's interesting. Someone walking around with 4 iPhones. And there we see the stockings, pajamas. Really, I guess those are like holiday pants, but still, it's kind of funny. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to talk about that I haven't talked about in the past couple of days. It's been a good day. Hope whoever was doing that's okay. I hope that is paint on the ground. I'm very much hoping that's dripping paint. It's pretty bright red, so I'm going to assume it's paint. Because I think by this point it would have been brown if it wasn't. Well, no, never mind. Well, I hope whoever caused that got medical attention. Huh, it stopped, so I'm assuming either got taken care of or they got in a car. Okay. Those boxes are pretty common too, cake boxes. They're from the Tout le Jour. Authentic French bakery. It's a good place to get cakes around here. They're pretty good quality. Not too bad of a price. You'll see tons of people carrying them around. And even if you don't go to the Tout le Jour, they'll be in the store. So I mentioned the other day that this light has never been red for me. And as you can see, again, walking up to it, oh, good. It's green. There we go. So, I don't know why, but every time I come by at this time of day, it's always green. It's kind of nice. Makes it easy to walk. You know, when you don't step in front of a car like I almost did. That's the problem with the cold. It cuts off your peripheral vision a good bit. Hoods and hats and such. Whew. Cake Dessert Bakery. Never heard of that one. Wonder where that is. So one thing that is interesting about cakes here, they're sweet, but they're not as sweet. They're like a lighter sweetness than what I'm used to in the United States. Even the frosting, it's like usually a really light kind of frosting. The kind of cakes Octavian would really like. Which is fine, because I enjoy them also. They usually have like fruit in the, like in between the layers and stuff too. Like, I don't know, they're really good. They're really light though. Unless they're chocolate. Chocolate ones are usually pretty hefty chocolate. But if it's just like the regular like sponge cake kind of cakes, they're very light, very airy, and extremely tasty, but very light. Okay. So as you can see, I don't know, in the winter time everything kind of just looks a little better at night. During the day it all looks kind of a little more grayish. In the summer though, oh my god, the sky is so blue, so pretty, just all over the place. The trees with the leaves and everything. Oh, it's just really nice. But I kind of like, in the wintertime I kind of like it at night. It just has kind of a different look to it. Yeah. And here we are, Superthought Square. You guys saw this yesterday in the daytime. I think I have enough time I can do a walkthrough. Let me check my watch real quick. 6:38. Basically I have 20 minutes to get there. I can do a quick walkthrough so you can do a comparison. See what it looks like at night compared to when we looked at it during the day. You can also kind of check the progress, because it was yesterday afternoon at about, I want to say 2 o'clock that we looked at it, and now today it's the evening at about I just checked, 6:30, 6:40 I guess. Oh, I didn't mention this statue, but they have a statue of Marco Polo. I don't know what his kind of status is here in Mongolia, but they have a statue to him. It's a Mongolian take on Marco Polo. He definitely does not look very Italian in it, but it's a statue commemorating him or honoring him. It's a big statue right there, if you can see it. Hopefully you can. Here, I'll try to make sure that I look at it. Yeah, it's that guy right there. But he's, you know, wearing a Mongolian armor and with a hawk on his shoulder. So, like I said, very Mongolian take on the idea, but pretty cool. Okay. That's kind of excuse me, but it's more like excuse me, like I'm sorry, excuse me. There's a different word for like get out of my way, excuse me, but I don't remember it, so I just use ushlarai. Oh, okay, so the slide is working. They've got the slide going. Okay, I'm definitely gonna go over and show you guys. So this is all ice, by the way. Like there's nothing in here but ice. This is a complete ice construction. I showed you guys yesterday they were working on it, chainsaws and all that business. They embedded the lights into the ice. They cut little channels and embed the lights in there. And it's on. Oh, that means I might be able to go look at all of the zodiac animals also. This is so cool. But this is like 100% nothing but ice. It took them about a week to build it. Actually, maybe it was 2 weeks, because I saw the big blocks of ice being delivered 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know if there were 4, so I guess it took 2 weeks. But check this out. See, they're still like cleaning out and stuff, but it's functioning. See? Oh, even adults are going up there. Oh, that means I could go up there if I really wanted to. But see, look. See? Going down the ice slide. Is that not cool? Look at that. See, but look, no supports of any other kind. This is just all 100% ice. I don't know if I'm gonna go on it now. I might try going on it some other time, but see? And then you go through the ice down to the train. And then you get off. See? Check that out. And then, see, they're still building the scaffolds here. I don't know what's gonna go on there. And then the food trucks, everybody getting food at the food trucks. Oh, cool, I can go through here. I'm gonna be very careful walking through so I don't slip. But yeah, see, look, check this out. See, the lights embedded in the ice. They've got mesh at the top as a ceiling. Seats if you really want to sit on a frozen seat. I do not want to. I'm not wearing enough layers. There we go. Oh, cool. They're building a light display with gondolas. That's cool. See if I can angle up so you can see that. Hopefully you can. I don't know if it angled up enough. The horizon correction might have corrected, but you can see it over there. Now let's go look at the zodiac animals. See which ones we can identify. So this is the boar. This is my guy. Pig, you know, that's me. This is the boar. I don't know which year we're going into. Maybe it's this one. This is the dog. Look, they even put him with a little bone down there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bone. He's got his paw on. It's the dog. And then you've got, continuing on, you've got the rooster. And then continuing on, this is, I believe, the monkey. Yeah, it's a monkey. Because I'm the king of the jungle, see? The jungle VIP. I reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. And then you got the ram. Look at that guy. That one's majestic. That is a majestic sheep right there. And then I believe this is the horse looking backward. I'm not sure if there's any significance to the direction the horse is looking, but like they've even got the neck turned. Like look at the detail. Look at the detail on that. The mane. All done with chainsaws. All done with chainsaws. Here's the snake, and you can see the details I was talking about that they carved into there. Oh, it's a rattlesnake. It's a king cobra with a rattlesnake tail. That's kind of cool. Like, and then you got the dragon. So this design for the dragon I've seen in a lot of places where it's this dragon like this looking backward. I'm not sure what the design idea of this one is, but I've seen that design in a couple other places. Then you've got the rabbit. Rabbit. You can see where they put the two blocks together to make him. Guy's little carrot down there. Big old feet on him. And then the tiger. Again, I've seen this design. There's a statue, there's a giant Buddha statue. I'm trying to remember where it is. It's over in Zaishan, and it's got a tiger that's kind of like this. And then you got the bull, or the ox. I think it's the ox. Obviously a male ox. And then you got the rat. Sneaky, sneaky rat, who rode across the water on the ox's back and jumped to get there first. Then of course the igloo and the polar bears. I showed you those guys, but now they're lit up. You can go into the igloo if you want. And then you got the polar bears. And then of course the rest of this, although it looks like they lit up the numbers also, so I'll go show you those real quick. They were telling me that on the new year there's going to be fireworks here, so I'm going to make sure to check that out and bring Zaya by, check that. People will ride these bikes around all over the place, but it's a little cold right now, so they might not want to right now. And as you can see, people can go in and try to walk on the very, very slippery ice inside the numbers. I wonder if that's what this is for firing off the fireworks. I don't know. But there's a slippery walk right here. I'm gonna try to carefully walk on it. Woo! Yeah, it's very slick. Very, very slick. But you can see the numbers. Oh, they don't have the star lit up in that one, but see? Woo! It's very slick. Very, very slick in this area. It's fun though. See? And this is what it all looks like. It's really pretty. I'll show you some other stuff later. Oh man. Ubi for Ulaanbaatar. And of course the Christmas tree. Even prettier lit up at night. I hope that lean got encapsulated it a bit. Oh, I don't have my phone out right now because it's cold, so I don't know what the camera is exactly looking at and how much of the horizon correction will keep it from angling up too much, but oh, somebody else is filming. He's got a more professional setup, obviously. Absolutely gorgeous. And then of course the great Chinggis. I didn't walk over here and show you this part of it. I only showed you the festival part of it, but this is the rest of Supatar Square. It's really big, really awesome. Give you a bit of a slow spin. This is Chinggis and his two guards over here. Sitting and watching his people, his descendants. With the military guard, always has at least one. Every time I see him, all I can think of is the Monty Python sketch about marching up and down the square. Would you rather be doing anything other than marching up and down the square? That's my terrible impersonation that I'm trying not to yell too loudly. But yeah, see, it's pretty neat. I waved at him, but I don't know if he's allowed to wave back. And that is the great Chinggis. Chinggis Khan. That's not his name, by the way, that's his title. He's Temuge. That was his name. I don't know what his father's name was though, so I only know his name, which was Tumuge. In Mongolia, your last name is your father's name. And you don't change names when you get married. So a child's last name is not the same last name as their parents' last names unless their father is named the same thing as their father, which would mean like if your name was Tumuge and your father's name was Tumuge, you'd be Tumuge Tumuge. They do have a clan name, but it's very rarely used except for like big official kind of things. So oftentimes what you'll see is a letter and then the name. So like for example, the MMA fighter, his name is Ing Orgil, and his last name is starts with a B, something who I think it's Baku. It might be Batarhu. I think it's Batarhu. I don't remember. But the Batarhu, that's his dad's name. Oh. And Ing Orgil is his name. Ing Orgil. Awesome MMA fighter. You should go look up his fights. He is quite talented. Just won his most recent bout, and it was a really good fight. Had to go watch it after seeing him in Physical Asia. Did a really good job. Okay, now all of this will be new to you guys, but I'm unfortunately on the wrong side of the street to show you kind of more of the stuff, but off on my right is another big kind of like mall shopping complex area, and it's got a KFC and a Pizza Hut in it. And the thing you need to know about fast food here is it is very good quality so far. Like all the fast food I've had here, you know, just to like compare, in any of the places I've gone into has been exceptionally good quality. Like, no, I don't know, they take food kind of seriously here, but not like the French kind of like high cuisine, haute cuisine, whatever you call it. I'm not sure the proper terminology, but like not like that, you know, like seriously, but like food is good quality. It is, you know, made fresh. It is. Oh. I don't know. They've got people who sell things around here care a lot about their stuff. I'm trying to remember what I was buying. I was buying something from a store. What was it? And I put it up, and the guy was like, "No, you don't want that one," and like took it off the counter and just flat wouldn't sell it to me. I don't know what was wrong with it, but he was like, "No, I just refused to sell it." But not like because of who I was, but like because it was not good. It was some food item I was getting. I can't remember what it was. It was a couple days ago, but like, you know, I'm just used to kind of that kind of situation happening. If something's bad, they're just like, "No, don't get that." Like anytime you buy something, they'll have you open it up and check it, make sure it's like the right stuff. Like it's really taking themselves real seriously. I think I talked about that in one of the shorts or something. I don't know if I ever uploaded that one though. Oh man. Whew. Passing one of the museums. Mongol. I can't read through the trees. What's it say? It says Mongol Usin Ich Surgul. So Surgul is school. I'm not sure what Usen means, so maybe it's an academy, maybe it's a school instead. Because it says Surgul. Mongol something big school. Great school. Oh, I can't read that second word though. Tani means your iPhone. Oh man, I just learned Udu, Tani, Udu. Anyways, the other part is bank card. It's your iPhone, your something, your bank card is what that said. Just an advertisement, obviously, but it's good to practice. Anhar means danger. This actually sounds very similar to danger. Anhar. Anhar. Barrelgin, I'm not sure what that means. Agil, Barrelgin, Agil, Yav, Agdach, not sure. Oof. Okay, almost there. We've got one more major intersection to cross. More construction, so they put up the thing to protect people, make sure stuff doesn't fall on people's heads. That's why it said danger, obviously, because it's a construction site. I think that said something like don't like the bottom part. If I'm remembering the translation, is basically like entry is prohibited or something like basically no trespassing, if I remember right. Arvan? That's 10. 10 restaurant? Huh. I wonder what Arvan also... I wonder what Arvan means aside from 10. Because Arav is 10, but Arvan is like 10th. So, I wonder what else that means. Oh. It's kind of funny. I get stared at a lot when I'm walking around, but now it's probably because of the camera. So, you know, gives people an excuse to look. Lanzu lame, Lanzu beef noodles. It's always interesting because they'll do things like that. They'll mix languages on signs. Because Lanzhao is not Mongolian. They have a Z, but their Z is a different letter. It looks like a 3. So that was an Anglicanized Korean word. Or Romanized, I think is how they say it. Romanized Korean word. With a Mongolian word. Oh. Okay. And this should be, if I'm remembering it, the last big intersection to cross. And then we'll get to walk down the alley that leads to the scariest building I've ever been inside in my time here. Because Google Maps led me to the wrong place. It was close to where I needed to go, but it was not where I needed to go, and it was, looked like it was straight out of Silent Hill or Resident Evil. It was, I walked in, I walked up one flight of stairs, was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try looking around anymore. Nope. And I just booked it out of there. I took pictures. It's one of those places where anytime I'm going somewhere, I'm like, this is This has my danger sense tingling. I always take pictures and send them to the family and be like, hey, you know, here's my location and here's where I'm going, just in case you don't hear from me again. This was the last place I was. Okay, so there's an example of the Z over on that sign, the optics place, the optometrist. It says Zara. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, that doesn't say Zara. That says Hara, and then it's Zuin. Hara Zuin Tav. So something center. I'm not sure what Zuin means, but Tav is center. It says, what's the rest of it say? So that's Mergejlin, Hara, Zuin, Tav. So the bottom one is obviously contact lens because it literally just says contact lens. Or I'm sorry, of the three listed words. So you can see how they use the Z instead of an S because their S is the C, but it doesn't make the same sound. If they put it in the end, it'd be like lens instead of lens, how we say it with a Z sound. So, and that's just literally an English word that's been put into Cyrillic. Those ones are the ones that are easy to read. So when you can read Cyrillic, you'd be surprised how much stuff you can actually figure out just because it's, you know, the same word in English or Mongolian just written in Cyrillic. Okay, almost there. So past the PC Mall, down the alley with the orange kid. Belnard. Not sure what Belnard means. I think it means parking. That one says Lombard, the big sign up there. And that's the sign we turn at. Somebody had their music up loud. Ah! Does I almost fall? Yeah, so here at the Lombard. Oh, I'm sorry, I said orange. It's actually cherry. It even says cherry, but just, again, there's an example of English word that's same word in English and Mongolian. I say English word, but it's not. It's Mongolian, but it's same word in English and Mongolian, but written in Cyrillic. The 4, the backwards, or no, the 4, yeah, the 4 is a ch. The 3 is a Z and the 4 is a ch. The CH, kind of. And this building on the left is the scary building. I am not going to go into it, just so you know. And that light over there is Zergadai, where I go for archery. Whew. Get my phone out so I can stop my camera on time. Oh, somebody else just went in. Cool. Oh. How's that? Snowy stairs, gotta watch them. There we go. Hello. Oh. And we're here, archery.